Clout chaser. One who uses one's name, who has a sense of power and influence, in hopes to reach similar levels of said power and or influence instead of building on their own merit.
It's just another level. AT told me I should fight back. They don't like that. Just know if you rock the boat, you better have a life raft. BJ told me I should fight back. They don't like that. Just know if you rock the boat, you better have a life raft.
What up, everybody in the YTBC? Just want to give a big shout out to the UGC and hashtag come back to boxing. When you get a chance, go to the description of this video. The links to all my brothers in both those communities are listed there. Please give them a try, and if you feel compelled to do so, please subscribe to them. So this is actually a concept that I had thought about probably like a year ago, where a lot of these terms that we use here on YouTube when discussing boxing, I hear them being used, and they're being used how I feel incorrectly. So this is going to be the first in my YouTube boxing definitions dictionary, if you will. Keep in mind, these are my definitions of these words. I'm not saying that it's the end all and be all. This is absolutely correct. These are the definitions that I feel to be the correct usage of these words. If you feel differently about that, that's what the comment section is for. We can have an open dialogue. But anyways, let me go ahead and get into this subject, which is the word clout chaser. Of course, I'm here using Deontay Wilder's picture. Just so you know, when I use a picture, it's just as a joke. If you can't handle the fact that I'm calling Deontay Wilder a clout chaser, and in a sense, I do think he is. That's why I use this picture, but really, it's just meant to be as a joke. If you feel somebody else is a clout chaser, and he's not the only one I'm going to mention, by the way, but that's perfectly fine. Boxing is full of clout chasers. But in my opinion, when we're talking boxing, clout chaser is usually somebody who calls out the name of somebody else without the intention of ever fighting them. We've seen this with, Erislandy Lara, where he was calling out Triple G. Call-outs are fine, but if you're not drawing up contracts, making offers, or anything like that, it's really in vain. You're not really trying to make the fight. You're just trying to build your name off of theirs. We've seen it a little bit more recently with Keith Thurman. He tends to speak on Terrence Crawford. He mentions his name whenever he gets a chance, but it's never in regards to actually getting in the ring with him. And then, of course, the biggest example that I could think of right now, Deontay Wilder. The reason why I say he's clout chasing is because for the past 2 years, he's been talking about one face, one name, talking about undisputed. And then when confronted with the prospect of actually making the fight with Anthony Joshua, he says things like, well, we got to make sure both, everybody's getting paid. The head's not meant to get hit. It's, at this point, it's not about the belts, baby. That's clout chasing to me. At one point, you had a standard that you said you were trying to meet. And now that it's very possible for you to meet that standard, you decide that there's other things that take precedence over it. Things that don't make any sense. When you're offered $120 million to fight Brazil, who you were going to fight anyways, and 2 guaranteed fights with Dominic Brazil, and you turn that down, and you expect me to believe that you were gonna fight White as long as AJ was in the in the contract when that was for less money and a higher risk. I can't believe that. You mean to tell me that you're going to fight a more dangerous fighter for less money than you fought Brazil, as long as AJ was in the contract, but yet they give you a contract for way more money, a way easier opponent, and not one but two guaranteed fights with AJ. I can't take that seriously. I can't. So yeah, for those reasons, I label Deontay Wilder a clout chaser. In a sense, I think Teofimo Lopez, I like him, but in a sense, I kind of think that he's a clout chaser because he was calling out Lomachenko's name, and as soon as Lomachenko spoke up, he went silent. You know, now that could be for other reasons. So I'm not outright saying he's a clout chaser, but the perception that I have right now is that that very well may be the case. Not ready to put that label on him just yet, but the difference is Teofimo Lopez. He's basically a glorified prospect at this time, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not taking anything away from Teofimo Lopez, but it's very different because Deontay Wilder is the longest reigning heavyweight champion currently out of this era. You know, out of the current champions, he's been a champion a lot longer than Anthony Joshua. So there's or I shouldn't say a lot longer, but he's been a champion longer than him. So there's no excuse for that behavior. But anyways, that's my take on clout chasing. Oh, let me go ahead and address the YTBC as in regards to the community clout chasing. I hear clout chasing a lot. Like when channels are beefing with other channels, and I think that's just is ridiculous. Like, there's not really anybody who's really any better than any others. I mean, there's really no logic in somebody saying, "Oh, you clout chasing off of me," you know. And it's like I've seen where some dude say it, and the other guy has more subscribers than I heard this with two individuals. One said the other one was clout chasing him, but the one who was supposedly clout chasing him had more subscribers than him by like almost double. But yet he's clout chasing off of him. And that his whole logic just didn't make sense. His logic was because the other individual doesn't get as many super chats, which is completely unfair because the channel with the more subscribers, they haven't enabled super chats. When they go live, you can't donate to them because they do it purely for the passion of the sport. Not that there's anything wrong with super chats. There's absolutely nothing wrong with super chats. I just don't like the dudes that they do a live and then that like every other comment in their chat is them posting their their Cash App and their PayPal and shit like that. You know, like to me that's e-begging, and I've actually seen some people glorifying that. Shout out to IOTBA. I was on one of his live streams one time, and there was some people hating on him, and they were like, "You don't even have you don't even have the donate button." It's like, wait a minute. Since when has it been cool to ask people for spare change? Like since when has that been cool? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm pretty sure when you see these homeless people on the corners asking for spare change, you ain't like, "Hey, I want to be like you when I grow up." You know what I'm saying? Like, more than likely you look at them like they're less than you, you know. But you're gonna glorify somebody who does it just because they own a laptop? The fuck out of here with that bullshit. But yeah, Clout chasing in the YTBC really isn't a real thing, in my opinion. There are definitely dudes that I respect more than others. I mean, it's very apparent that some people just don't know the definition of the words that they use. I heard that I made a diss video on a certain individual, but yet if you listen to that video, I never once called them out their name. I just explained the situation, but yet it's not disrespectful to me when somebody tells me to eat a dick. Like, that's ass backwards. But it's very apparent that some motherfuckers in this thing don't know the definition of the words that they use, but I'm gonna help y'all. So to all my subscribers, anybody watching my videos, or you just so happen to stumble on this video, leave a comment. Tell me what you think of clout chasing. Name some boxers that you think are clout chasing. You know, is there anything that I missed? Y'all have a wonderful and blessed day.
Undefeated.